Okay, there, can everybody hear me? Does this work? Okay, awesome. We're good to go? Okay. So we are Skywatch. I'm James. So to tell a quick story, in ancient times, whenever there was an event happening in the sky, which was rare, it was either one of two things. It was either a revelation or it was a warning sign. But with modern technologies, we've now learned that there's thousands of events happening in the sky every day. And we're looking deeper and deeper into space to understand the foundations and the origins of our universe. And that leads into our challenge. Our challenge is to create a website that is accessible and easy to read by the mainstream media that can sort of communicate these transient events that happen on a daily basis and make them accessible to the wider public. And for example, what are some of these events? They are going to be gamma ray bursts, they're supernovas, they're passing asteroids, they're gravitational microlensing. So these are a lot of things that we're not familiar with. More so, a lot of the language that's used to communicate between telescopes is something that we're very unfamiliar with too. So we actually didn't begin building until almost about 24 hours ago, really. So everything we have, we built in 24 hours because we had a huge learning curve. And when you have a huge learning curve in this situation, you sort of do what it is that anybody would do in this situation. We contacted an astrophysicist at NASA. We came across his contact on a lot of websites with these transmission protocols. So I contacted him. And we were in email communication for the last 24 hours. He sent us lots of information. He sent us IP addresses to databases that NASA had to use that was open source. And we pulled some of those, we took a snapshot, a small snapshot of one of those databases. Since it creates about 3,000 events daily, we just needed a small snapshot for the demo we're going to use today. So we focused on one specific transmission protocol, and those are called VOEvents. Essentially what happens is when an event happens in the universe, and one of the satellites or one of the satellites in the air or one of these satellites or radio sites on the ground picks up these changes, it communicates them to all other satellites, or sorry, all other telescopes, for those telescopes to then point their telescopes at this event occurring so that we could have multiple recordings of this event taking place and multiple measurements. And all this happens from 3 to 5 seconds of when that photon hits the sensor, the stream shows up on our website. Okay, so this is what we have to compete with. This is called Sky Alert. This is what scientists are currently using. And I'm going to quickly show you, well, Ryan is actually going to quickly show you what it is we built.
There we go. Does this work?
And I'll just say that we wanted to create something that looked like a Twitter stream, so our subtitle is A New Way to Follow the Stars.
Go. So this is what the page actually looks like. It's broken up into two major components. We have the component on the right, which is the actual stream of information coming in. Like James said, we're just using a snapshot for now, or it would be very, very hard to follow. But normally this would be real time. And on the left, we actually have a visualization of this data. On this map, we will actually plot the location of the observatories sending out these events. And the really cool thing, thanks to our teammate Roland and his genius, we are actually able to click on this tag here and plot the coordinate in space. And you can zoom in using Google Sky. Let's let that load, and you can get an idea of what it actually looks like where this event is happening. And then if you want to filter the events, we have a quick little filter box here, and you can subscribe to it via email, RSS, and we can even tweet at you if you really want to. And we intend to keep a Twitter hashtag open as well. And the final thing, I'm going to go through this quickly. If you're an amateur telescope person, you can actually take the coordinates here and this little visibility meter that we put based on the cloud cover in your area, and you can actually now point directly at this event as it's happening.
In real time. Okay, so why is this important? Well, with my last 10 seconds, I just want to say In order for people to start thinking about space, they need to be able to see it, and they need to be able to understand what's happening. And with that, they become inspired and come to events like this, and we create huge movements around that. So with that, thank you very much. Hi there.
Not turned on yet.
Not turned. Oh, here we go. Excellent. First of all, from my perspective, which is informal education in museums and schools and so on, really awesome idea. I have seen Sky Alert. As you said, it's aimed at scientists, so having something that's user-friendly for the general public. A couple of observations. Would make a great kiosk application because of the fact that I haven't really seen a lot like this in museums. So that's one thing you might want to think about. The other thing is the actual interpretation of the content. In other words, it's great to have all these people contributing and seeing all that. If you could upvote, for example, simple explanations of X number of words of what they're looking at and why it's important, that would make it a much better application on the floor for visitors of various ages.
Yeah, what we actually cut out was something that we began working on, which was an about page. So if there was multiple events, multiple interactions about one event, it aggregated. So if there was tweets, if there was photos, video, social media, stuff related to that event, we could actually aggregate it to keep sort of a consolidation of events related to, or of media related to one particular event. So yeah, we also have a tooltip that when you actually hover over that point, it gives you more information about not only that particular event, but what a supernova means, for example, or what a gamma ray burst is.
And that would be great. And one thing we see is that in a lot of these types of vendors that come to us, for example, they have this content and this great consolidation, but the science communication part of it is where it usually falls down. And having that ability to tell people in a very quick burst of information really easily what they're looking at and why it matters, that's key, I think.
So I have a couple comments too and a question. I think this can go to the App Store right now and would be completely viable. Absolutely. You probably have already sent it. Okay. And then who did you work with at NASA?
Scott Barthelemy, thank you very much. I'm pointing at the camera, no one has to look, but thank you.
That's cool. Wow, that's cool. And then the other thing, just to let you know, spaceweather.com was started by science at NASA, and so they do have, that was the first website that we had where we allowed users to send us information. Now it's run kind of separately, but that's, you've probably already linked in with them, but they've got tons of information that you could also link to with this.
Great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.